Hope everybody is doing well. In this economic update, I'm going to talk about unemployment rate along with a little bit about the stock market. There really isn't too much information to cover, but I'm going to go through what I have seen. I don't normally watch too much of mainstream media. What I watch, the odd time, and the odd time is like 4 times this season. And the season's almost over. The season of spring, of course. I watch some CNBC on the open, 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. Put it on, see what kind of information I can get. And what I'm noticing, first off, the same type of ordeals. People are going to tell them what they think is going to happen, but they don't give us any reasons to support their theories, saying, well, I think we're going to see a housing bottom, blah, 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 but they give us no reason why. The stock markets are going to stabilize, no reasons why. So, well, that's just pretty normal. Now, what's not normal is for them to reveal the truth. And one of my predictions is that they're going to do so. My predictions got supported today, and expect a large increase in them telling us the truth over the next little while, especially a year, 9 to 12 months from now. What I've seen today is that the announcement of the unemployment rate. The photos are going to be on my blog. The link to the blog is in the more info for those who watch this video on YouTube. The links will show you the 2 photos that they put on. The first photo was the actual unemployment rate. No, the unemployment rate they have been telling us for months and months and even years, and then all of a sudden they decide to show what they called the real unemployment rate. And they are saying on the charts, they didn't say anything, at least Mark Haynes didn't say anything about the unemployment rate, but it was on the screen, and they said it was between 15 to 18%. The first one was just called the unemployment rate on the header. The second one they called the real unemployment rate. This means they're starting to tell us more truth. And you can expect that to happen even more based on the Mayan calendar consciousness at a much higher scale, 9 to 12 months from now. Okay, so next up, as far as stocks are concerned, I've been talking mainly about a dollar collapse, and that is pretty much working on schedule. We may see the dollar go through an intermediate term rally. It's looking like that's going to be the case. How high we go, that would just be time will figure it out on my blogs and on my stock reports. I go through different areas where you may find resistance on it. But when the dollar goes up, that means stocks usually go down, and when the dollar goes down, stocks go up. Stocks, nothing more than a guide of inflation, it seems. At least that's the best bet. People talked about deflation before in 2008, and we had the stock market go from 14,000 down to 6,000 and change, losing well over 50% of its value. Okay, so now if that's the case, when we're seeing inflation come into play, what does that mean for stocks? Does that mean stocks are going to go higher? And my answer is most likely yes. Now, do I think we're going to have what they call a washout or a stock crash beforehand? Once again, the answer is most likely. I don't know, because in 2008, I was coming on here saying that the economy is collapsing and the stock market's going to fall. Well, I don't really come on here saying, oh, the stock market's going to fall. Instead, the stock market might fall. Now it's all about the dollar losing its value and a major shift in consciousness from the Mayan calendar. That's where it's all being played right now. So as far as stocks are concerned, it's mixed message. If you look at the actual stock market itself and you don't adjust it for inflation, when you look at the short-term time frame or the last few months, the path of least resistance is higher, and without a test of any resistance or any retracement, sorry. So that should mean that selling is almost like a 97% guarantee to happen very soon. On the more longer term time frame, or what some people call intermediate term, the path of least resistance is lower. So you got those mixed messages. You have since the NASDAQ bubble, the path of least resistance has been lower. since the spring started, the path of least resistance has been higher. So you got conflicting messages. So if you're going long on stocks, you're gambling. If you're going short on stocks, you're gambling. If you're playing the stock market, period, you're gambling unless you have some sort of strategy for whatever reason. Now, I understand some people have no choice but to gamble. Maybe they have to either go for it all or go for broke. And you know what? I understand some people have no choice for that. So, but nonetheless, if you're putting money in stocks because you think that the stock market's always going to go up and the media says it's going to, you're gambling. If you put money on short funds because you think, well, we're in a bear market, we've already had this massive gain, we have to sell off, once again, you are gambling. Now, if that's something you enjoy doing and you're okay with doing, by all means, go with it. Now, if you look at the stock market since, like, say, 1940, well, it's the path of least resistance is way higher. But, like I said, the stock market is like an inflationary period. It explains what inflation is all about. And if you look at an inflation-adjusted chart, and I don't have new data for it because I have no idea how Shadow Stats has said inflation has been over the last 9 months or so. So if anyone has the Shadow Stats information, please message me. I am in some big need of some current inflation data. Thank you very much in advance. Now, with the Shadow Stats inflation adjusted stock market as of pretty much the end of 2008, over the short period term, the path of least resistance is much lower. And over the entire longer term time frame, it is neutral. So we have a neutral market where the current is going down. So that tells us that over the longer term time frame, stocks are going lower, because I have been saying recently that with inflation, there's a really good chance that stocks are going to go higher. Now, adjusting this for true inflation, to me, it's almost a guarantee that the stocks are going to continue to go lower to the point of wherever, that we're going to go to below the numbers that we were in 1982. In fact, we are already below the number. We are like at 1930 levels right now as far as inflation adjusted. Now, I don't know what the new inflation is because the latest I got is August of 2008 numbers. So based on August of 2008 numbers compared to then, we're pretty much at the 1930 numbers because we printed so much money on the money supply. It's gone a lot higher. I'm not even going to guess what the inflation, the real inflation has been. Instead, I'm going to wait for this information to come to me, either from someone helping me out from Shadow Stats or because I know that the true information is coming. I've made the prediction that the mainstream media, and not only the mainstream media, but everybody is going to be telling more truth. And to me, this is guaranteed, 100% guaranteed. The reason why is because of the study I've been doing with consciousness. And at the halfway point of each cycle, the new cycle overrides the previous one. The last time this happened was shortly after World War II. That's when power overruled law. And boy, did it ever overrule law. As we've seen the Constitution been taken out, going off the gold standard, so much stuff like that. And then the next one is 3 weeks, around, approximately, give or take, into the start of 2010. That's when truth is going to override power, which means people are going to be telling more truthful information. What this means is if somebody knows they are lying about something and they've been telling us lies, you're going to be noticing the truth is coming out. The same is going to be true for you. If you've been lying about something for so long and you know it's a lie, don't be surprised if you can't hold those lies anymore in the year 2010. I'm noticing that myself. So, something to look out for as we move on towards the shift in consciousness. So, thank you for watching. Remember, check those graphs on the blog. They're saying 15 to 18% now is the real unemployment. Peace and light, everyone.